How you doing, everybody? And welcome to this episode of the podcast of Three Not So Wise Men. I'm Krais.
I'm Jyck.
And I'm Austin.
And if you're wondering why we're a little bit Italian today, well, that's because our pitch of the day. Austin, do you want to take it away?
So, our pitch today, I'm stopping right there.
Yeah, please stop. They already got enough with it, with how you doing.
Yeah, but anyways, today our pitch is create your own mobster movie. So this could be anything. You can set it as anything from the 1920s and 30s, maybe anything from the 1900s on to the modern day. So you can have a modern mob movie, anything going up to the 1900s. Grace.
What if I did caveman mob movies?
As long as it's a mob.
You sold that down.
And look how they massacred my T-Rex.
Fire! Fire! Okay. But yeah.
It's in the message. Grab a rock. Change my pitch now.
Okay. All right, but so we got
It
ideas.
takes us like a full minute to get derailed. Didn't even.
We're back in motion, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we want to share any of our history with the mob movies or anything?
We can do it real quick.
Yeah.
Austin's gonna be the longest. Chris, you want to go first?
I was abducted by the mob.
That checks out.
We're talking about mobster movies.
Not real life experiences.
Okay, confession time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the confession scene from The Godfather. I haven't seen The Godfather.
I was wondering what confession scene.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought there was a confession scene, like where he's at the judge and they're all the families going
No,
around.
he owns the judge.
Okay.
yeah. Nope.
Chris
That
has
was not
nothing.
The first one. Yeah.
Yeah, Zach. Chris has nothing. You got anything?
Did you just call me Zach?
Jack. Zach.
And welcome to the fourth member of the podcast, Zach. What are your thoughts?
It's actually my evil twin. Alright, so I recently watched The Penguin. I have seen The Godfather. I watched most of it a while ago, but I watched the whole thing, last night, 2 nights ago? Recently. I've seen a few. The Highwaymen, it's not exactly mobster, but it's the Hunt of Bonnie and Clyde. I think you could kind of consider that. I'm sure there's others that I'm not thinking of right now, but not much and few and far between.
Nice. As for me, this pitch came out at a very convenient time for me because I am in a design class, and one of the things I'm doing is taking an old play from Greek plays, and I'm transferring it to the 1930s, where I'm going with the gangster route.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing a lot of research recently over gang members and in America at that time. Krais has too, but he's doing the 1920s, not as prevalent.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's that. That's why this pitch has been very, very convenient for me. I also recently watched all of The Penguin, like Jack.
Yeah.
I just watched The Godfather for the first time, like a couple nights ago as a recording. I watched about half of Godfather Part 2 before I ran out of time.
So long.
And yeah, it's super long. And I also, back in March, I played Mafia, the video game, which covers the span of the 1930s, which really fun game, by the way, but the race car mission sucks.
Don't remind me.
But
I haven't
yeah.
played it. All right.
I definitely recommend playing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else before we get started?
Bananas.
Always with the bananas with you.
Bananas.
All right. Well, with that note, get ready to get the line, boys. Pitch starts in 3, 2, 1, go! And time. Okay. I was down to the wire on it, but I got it.
I didn't get it. I mean, there's holes, but I mean, I have a plot.
Oh, I guarantee
mean-
there's holes in mine, but like, for 30 minutes, me getting almost 4 pages,
Woo! I got mine done, but the amount of plot holes that I discovered as I wrote it out was ridiculous.
There was a lot of things that like I wanted to put in there that I didn't have time to. So there's like things that like, why is that detail there? I'm like, it was supposed to tie in, but I couldn't do it. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get into that when I get to my pitch.
I
Alright.
ran into the same problem.
Yeah, I think we all did with
Yeah.
plot holes, but that's to be expected
Yeah.
with this nature.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So
Spin that wheel!
Is this the first time we've done that?
Yes.
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. Is it gonna be the same order for 4 times in a row?
Probably.
Nope. It is Don Michaelis going first. I.e. me.
Ever gone first? Did we look into that? I didn't look into
I
it.
didn't look into it.
We really need to look into that.
Well,
see who goes first.
in-
but
in
like,
our
still, it's not. It's usually not first for me.
Yeah, no. It's very rare.
Who's gonna follow me? Don Baker, you are second.
Alright.
So Krais is second. That means our order is me, Krais, Jack.
We went in reverse.
Yeah.
Wow. At least it's not the same order though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 in a row was a bit much.
Alright.
All right. Well,
You ready for this?
ready?
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready? Okay, copyright.
Copyright!
All right.
Copyright Ninja Strikes comes in.
All right. So, we ready?
Yeah, that's all over me.
Yippers! Alrighty. So, my movie is titled Till the End of the Line.
Ooh.
And so, what I've done is, like, I put together a good blend of Mafia the video game,
Mm.
The Godfather, and Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, my synopsis is, in 1934, Johnny... I put his last name somewhere later. I'll bring that up. But
Yeah.
Johnny is brought into the world of crime in 1933. In 1930, after saving Don Vizimo's life from an assassination attempt from a rival gang.
Okay.
And soon he meets Sarah, the Don's daughter. And as this decade crosses, they slowly fall for each other and learn about the hard parts of being a part of a crime family. So
I just want more details. I'm just waiting. Go,
yeah,
go, go.
yeah,
I'm
okay,
excited.
okay.
Let's go.
All right, I'm going. All right.
Please, Papa. Oh.
You want me to go or not?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the movie starts with Johnny joining the mob after saving Don Vizimo's life from an assassination attempt.
Yep.
So we'll see the assassination attempt. Johnny's currently not employed and working on trying to find a job and stuff. Before I continue, I should say this movie is going to be anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hour long. So we're going with the classic long crime drama.
Yeah.
So after the assassination attempt, Don Vizimo brings Johnny in to meet the rest of the family, where he also gets to have a nice introduction with Sarah. A few days later, Johnny goes out on a collective run with some of his friends. I didn't get to name all of them, but like I'll name 1 or 2 of them later, and then just assume that they would be thrown in there too.
Yeah.
But this is kind of our exposition scene when he gets to learn about the family, what they do, and who their rivals are.
Yeah.
It's also explained in the scene that the family has the saying of "till the end of the line" that they say every time before they go out, because they know that this life is crazy and sometimes they may not make it. So just more of a solidification that we are united till the end.
I really like that. All right, keep going.
As they continue on, the scene ends with the crew having a car chase after one of the debtors decides to run for it. And so it ends with them stopping the car chase by shooting the driver.
Okay.
A few weeks later, Johnny walks in on the dawn arguing with Sarah, who is complaining about how she wants to go on the moonshine run because she's one of the people that makes it.
Yeah.
And she's tired of feeling like she's being overprotected. So, knowing that this run should not go wrong at all, the Don sends Sarah out since he believes that she couldn't be hurt, but sends Johnny out with her with a small crew because you always need the crew anyways for the run, but Johnny's more like the supervisor for Sarah.
Gotcha.
So during the car ride up to the meeting point, Sarah talks about how she doesn't need any help and why the Don is so protective, which is revealed that Sarah's mother died to crime.
Yeah.
As they make it to the deal location out on the outskirts of Chicago, and it turns into a firefight, naturally.
Of course.
Chaos ensues, and Johnny looks to find Sarah, and after hearing her scream, Johnny runs around the corner and sees a guy pushing Sarah up against a wall. Johnny proceeds to run and tackle the guy, and then they start to brawl, and as they get into it, Johnny ends up on the ground, and the rival gangster has a gun pointed at Johnny. We see the gun, the trigger about to get pulled, and then we hear the gunshot, but it's revealed that the gangster got shot, and after the body falls, we see Sarah pointing the gun with a little smoke coming out, and she's not even fazed by it. Yeah, there's gonna be some dialogue after that.
Yeah.
They don't have time to go into that. The same night, they go meet back up with the Don, and after a really heated argument between the Don and Sarah, Johnny steps in and provides the information that it would have gone a lot worse if Sarah wasn't there.
Ooh.
And they would have gotten all the money and got to keep the booze if it wasn't for her. So, and then there's like a nice little moment between, or more of a moment of respect between Johnny and Sarah in that moment. Yeah, it's good. A few years later, I'm thinking maybe 2 years, so maybe we're now in 1932. Johnny is talking with Sarah at the bar where the Don is located. They have a little club area. So they're just having a nice conversation at the bar, maybe some light flirting going on between the two, when a drive-by shooting happens. And so Johnny jumps over to the bar counter and brings Sarah down with her, and he tells her to stay down, and she replies, like hell I will. This is my bar. She then glances over, and Johnny's like on top of her, but she glances over to the shotgun beneath the counter, and then Johnny notices it, and they look back at each other, and they give a nice little smile, and then we get this really cool shot of them standing up behind the bar counter, Johnny holding a revolver, and Sarah with a shotgun firing it, with alcohol bottles being blasted off the shelves. And so, yeah, you got that whole little gunfight happening, and just nice little moments between the two. And then some point in the story after this, Johnny and Sarah finally get together. About a year later after that, in 1933, Johnny asks the Don for Sarah's hand in marriage. And the Don agrees because Johnny's been a very big asset to the family, but warns him that he'll kill him if he breaks his daughter's heart. But Johnny replies, with all due respect, boss, I think she'll beat you to it.
Oh, that's good.
Keep going. And then Don replies, yes, that's my daughter. And he's like, you raised her well, sir. And then there's just like this nice bonding moment between the two. So we'll fast forward up to the wedding. We get some nice shots at the wedding. And then while they're up at the altar, they'll say their I do's. And secretly to each other, just like underneath their breath so only they can hear it, they'll say to the end of the line. Fast forward about 2 years later, Johnny's now ranked within the family, or higher ranked in the family, and leads an attack against rival boss Mazzello, who was the leader or the organizer of the bar attack.
Gotcha.
He leads this attack with his wife Sarah, and then we have that whole scene of them stopping Mazzello and putting him down for good. Now that Mazzello is dead, Don Vizimo now has control over most of Chicago. Now, after that, like, obviously this would be a lot longer in the movie, but going forward again, Sarah's cousin Tommy is finally old enough to join in on the family business. And they started out good, everything's nice, and he's just a kid, but something goes horribly wrong that was Tommy's fault. And this leads to Vizimo to ruthlessly murder Tommy.
Remind me who that is? Not Tommy, though.
Vizimo? Yeah. That's the father, the Don.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Sarah, who is now pregnant, grows concerned for their safety and wants to find a way out, because if they're willing to do that just to their actual family members, what's going to happen if the baby or Sarah messes up? Yeah. Really big. So Johnny and his friend Angelo, and Angelo would have been shown earlier in the movie. Yeah. They decide to go rob a bank, and right before that, they say their family line to the end of the line. Yeah. And then as they go out, they have a successful run, but they have to split up and try to hold out, and they'll try to meet back together so that way they can escape. Yeah. But Don finds out about the bank robbery, and he kills Angelo. So Johnny finds out about this, and because he finds Angelo's dead body at his apartment, and so he rushes back to his house and tells Sarah to pack up. And as they get back there and start finishing up, that's when their house becomes under attack. So from there, they have a little firefight trying to get out of the yard. And then Tommy leads Sarah to a safe spot and gives her money to escape, or the money to escape. But he has to stay behind to allow her time to escape. So Sarah manages to make it out. And Johnny makes a sacrifice and blows up his home to kill the rest of the intruders, allowing Sarah to get out.
Sarah's still pregnant at this point.
Yes. Okay. A few years later, so probably like 1939 at this point, we see Sarah talking to her child about his father and how he gave them all that they had. We then see that she has a very nice mansion, and the final scene we get is that Sarah leaves the room and she walks into a little meeting area where she's greeted as Don Pardelli, which that would have been Johnny's name. Yeah. Johnny Pardelli.
And wait, did he die in the explosion?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He died killing Johnny.
Yeah.
And now, a few years later, Sarah has grown to become the crime boss of her own family.
Oh.
Using her husband's last name.
Dope.
Is that it?
That is the end of this movie. Possibly setting up a part 2 where she fights her father.
I want a part 2. I'm not gonna lie. Do you want to go first?
I'm bursting here.
Okay, you can go first.
I don't. Y'all, audience obviously can't. Okay. Okay, the listeners obviously can't hear it, but I had the stupidest give me more grin on my face this entire time. I was trying to hide it. I just gave up on that. So, I was watching The Godfather, and I absolutely love it. It's obviously lives up to the hype. But this is more my type of story. So, if this came out with the production value of The Godfather, it would be like, I mean, it's no Princess Bride, but it'd be up there for me. I really, really enjoy this. Until the end of the line, or till the end of the line, is a great line. You had a bunch of great moments packed into this. All of them iconic. It's fits the time period. The stakes are super high. My favorite thing about it is the fighting is mostly within the family. Because I personally haven't seen that a lot.
Yeah, I think there was actually a pretty good blend because we do have the drama within the family, but then we also have the extra drama too.
Yes.
And that's something that I really want to explore too, because you want those big gunfights and stuff.
Yeah.
But also you want the drama in between to make you connect more with characters.
Yeah, it's just we don't in The Godfather. There's really no fighting between the family. There's traitors, of course, but because that's a mobster movie. But the fact that it's the father and daughter fighting, I think the characters Sarah and Johnny are very well done. I don't generally like protagonists, but I love these protagonists. I could keep going. I'm trying to think of critiques. Anything that I can even nitpick.
Obviously, I'll point one out. Obviously, probably more the friendships that come with the family.
Yeah.
That would have been established early on too.
Yeah. I think a lot of the things I have questions about is something that's just kind of implied with the genre and the type of movie. Obviously, there'd be a ton more characters, etc. And we'd get to see a lot, especially with it being that long of a movie. But
yeah, that's why I had to specify. This one is definitely a 2.5, 3 hour movie.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop talking now, Krais.
Cool. Yeah, you mostly hit all the points that I had. The one thing that I would like to add to the discussion is the girl,
Sarah.
Sarah. That's what I thought. I love Sarah in this. This is such a good written character. That because a lot of mob boss daughters, in my opinion, are oh, I love you, Daddy. Yeah. Oh, he's a successful businessman. Oh God, I love my daddy. Yeah. But she is written really well, and to make her a little bit more, human. Yeah. And I think that's a really good character, particularly since she's so important, and you didn't make her just that. So, yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah, one of the things I really wanted to do is that I wanted Sarah to be a major female protagonist, but I didn't want it to be that trap that a lot of Hollywood writers do right now, where they just make her super overpowered in unrealistic ways. So what I really wanted to do is I wanted it to be more of a partnership between Johnny and Sarah. So, they're constantly saving each other throughout the...
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to say is I liked that it follows Johnny, making him the protagonist. But really, it's more Sarah's story. All the action really happens through her, and Johnny's just along for the ride. But we follow Johnny, so we get start, and we get the exposition, and then we get it, and then it ends being Sarah's story because Johnny's unfortunately dead.
And that's what I wanted to go for. I wanted it to be a partnership story. Yeah. So it's really between these two.
You did very well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm glad that you liked it. I was really excited to do this.
Yeah.
I've been talking about this one, and I've been so proud of this one. I'm I got to make sure I get every plot point down. So that's why some things aren't fleshed out, but I wanted to make the overall story in there, and there was a lot.
This is for sure an Austin pitch, and you hit it out of the ballpark.
Thank you.
And then some.
Yes!
At first I was pretty low energy, and I was okay. Oh, okay.
And no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dude, I
good.
was hanging on to every word. All right.
I appreciate it. I love it when my pitches are great.
Yeah. I mean, most of them are pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Krais, Don Baker, what do you have for us?
Well, first I would like to share my original pitch, because this is what I was going to do until Austin gave me another idea.
Oh, no.
Not intentionally.
Not intentional.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the caveman one for a second. Okay.
No.
Caveman Mobster.
It is 100 BD.
BD?
That's not it.
BC?
Yeah, BC.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Moving on.
point is, my original pitch
Yeah.
was going to be a film version of Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Okay.
Which is do you know what
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
Yakuza?
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to basically make that a live action film, because I think seeing some of the obscurities that are in the game,
Yeah.
like the shrimp summon that you have,
I haven't played the game.
there's a lot of ridiculous stuff in the game,
Gotcha.
and I think it would have been great on the big screen. Anyways, until Austin reminded me that I could have done something different. So here's my pitch.
No, let me clarify this.
Yeah.
I asked Krais what he would like to do for a future pitch coming up, and I know where he's going with this one.
Yeah.
But he said that, and then I mentioned one certain character from a franchise,
Yep.
and that gave him an idea.
Okay.
All right, sorry, Krais.
Sorry,
I'm
Krais'
trying not to
face.
spoil what it is.
Yeah.
But
My pitch is what I want for the Spider-Man noir film.
Jyck's disappointment.
No, it's...
You do the same?
No.
Okay.
Just keep talking.
Okay.
It's more of a why the heck didn't I figure out that that's what you were talking about? Just talk. Just
Okay,
go.
so
Just go.
here's my pitch for Spider-Man Noir, or like a version of a Spider-Man Noir movie.
Yeah.
At the top of the movie, it is revealed through the like spinning like newspaper like reel that it's bang. Tensions run high when the young crime boss Diamondback turns up dead hanging from a power cable. Okay, Diamondback is actually a Luke Cage Power Man villain. Okay, he's a mob boss. Okay, so that's like the opening of the movie.
Yeah.
With these papers like running out around town, Luke Cage seeks the help of Spider-Man Noir, because everyone knows like Luke Cage and Diamondback had like the biggest feud in Harlem, and Luke Cage is like, hey, I need some help here. Like, I need someone to clear my name. So Noir is like, okay, I'll take care of it for you. Okay. So Noir immediately gets to it. Okay. He swings into action, and investigating the body, he finds a clue that leads him to a club that's owned by a Joe Fixit. The Grey Hulk.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So sneaking into the club, Noir starts talking to Fixit. Oh, I should mention that Diamondback's body was the way he died was basically taking a punch through the stomach. Like someone punched him hard enough to do like irreparable damage to his organs.
They did Injustice Superman attacking Joker.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
So that's why a lot of people were like, "Hey, it's got to be Luke Cage because he's okay. He's also got the super strength to back him up." So when when Noir meets Joe Fixit is like, "Hey, I don't want a gang war happening because Diamondback's dead, because it's because of his death a power vacuum is happening and things in the underground crime family aren't doing so hot right now." But Fixit gives Noir a lead to a man that wanted to hire Fixit to take down Kingpin, the big crime boss of New York at the time. The person who was wanting Fixit's help was a man by the name of Nicholas Lucky Lewis Sr.
Who?
Nicholas Lucky, quote unquote, Lewis Sr.
Yeah, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, because I haven't said his supervillain name yet. But that's the person that like Fixit's like, hey, this is who you need to look into.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with this information, he reveals that this Nicholas guy was wanting some someone with some brute strength, and Noir starts immediately going through his list of people that he knows that Nicholas would go and find, and he thinks of someone. At this moment, the front door of the bar blows in, revealing Hammerhead and Hobgoblin.
Nice.
Okay? two enforcers of Kingpin.
Yeah.
Hammerhead is more of like deals with more of like the gangsters themselves. Hobgoblin is kind of like Kingpin's right hand man, telling like members of the family like where to go, what hits to deal with, stuff like that. Yeah. So a big fight scene breaks out in the bar with Noir and Fix-It battling Tombstone and Hobgoblin. I think it would be really cool to see like Fix-It throw Noir at Hobgoblin as Hulk and Hammerhead just duke it out. Mm-hmm. I just think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So they finally stop them and beat them down, but the moment they go to arrest them, their smoke bomb is lit, and Hobgoblin and Hammerhead get away. Yeah. After that, Joe Fix-It is like, hey, you need to fix this. You need to get this fixed like now, because the fact that they did this in like broad daylight says that, hey, we got to deal with this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have my guys try to hold the line while you figure this out. Yeah. Noir leaves the building, pulls up his notepad, and writes in his notebook, Tombstone. And we immediately cut to him swinging through the city to Tombstone's chop shop. As he swings, he gives us this monologue of like, the only other person that I can think of that's not on Kingpin's side that is like super bulky is Tombstone. Tombstone doesn't like to work with Kingpin because of reasons that we do not know. Yeah. So
because reasons.
I will get into them later.
Oh, be disappointed if you did it.
So Noir gets to Tombstone's chop shop, and before he could like infiltrate the actual shop, a woman speaks up behind him. Noir turns around, and we see Black Cat. Mm-hmm. Okay? Black Cat reveals that the guy that was talking to Fix-It earlier is the person that she's looking for. She's got a contract for something that he has. Mm-hmm. And Noir's like, okay, well, if you want to help me, you can help me, but just, you know the rules. You know the Spider-Man rules. Don't kill or anything. Yeah. Okay, so they infiltrate the chop shop, and they learn that Tombstone has been collecting... This is something that I don't have on my research, but he's been collecting the chemical that turned Tombstone into Tombstone. Yeah. Like gave him his impenetrable skin and stuff like that. As they're in the chop shop, the man they're looking for, Nicholas Lucky Lewis, walks in, mm-hmm. and he starts yelling at Tombstone, like, if you want your end of the deal, you got to step it up, okay? We got to get this ball rolling. Noir was just spotted at Joe Fix-It, okay? So it's revealed that Nicholas Lucky Lewis is becoming a Marvel villain that I just learned about called Crime Master.
Crime Master?
Crime Master. If you want to look him up, go for it.
Please do.
I think it's such a stupid name, and I love it, that I was like, this dude's the bad guy. This is the main villain.
He's got to be.
He's got to be, okay? It's actually a real deep cut. I'm surprised I found it. Yeah. But he's basically just a normal mobster who has no superpowers of any kind, has no like extra like super abilities. He has a gun and gang members.
Interesting.
Okay.
Apparently he's in one of the Spider-Man games.
I saw that. I don't know what it's talking about.
I think it might be in the Miles Morales.
It is. I just don't know what it's like. I said, I don't know what it's talking about because I played both. Fun fact: the Tombstone plot line is from the Spider-Man game, but we're not going to talk about that.
I like his mask though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. But it's revealed that Crime Master was a Kingpin grunt. Yeah. And when after like a hit that Tombstone happened, Crime Master was brutally like wounded, and like none of the family of the quote unquote family came to save him. Yeah. So he's taking out his anger on Kingpin for that. But because he needs some more muscle, he hired Tombstone to help take out Kingpin, because Kingpin owns the Daily Bugle and won't let Tombstone infiltrate the Daily Bugle to kill the reporter who actually made the article at the beginning of the movie, Robbie Robertson. They were Robbie Robertson and Tombstone were childhood friends, which is a real thing in comic book lore. Okay. So yeah, that explained that. Yeah. So with that, it's Noir and Tombstone duke it out. Noir trying to stop Crime Master, seeing Noir pop out. He's like, okay, we have to move up our timetable. He has Tombstone stop Noir while he goes and does the master plan. After beating Tombstone, it's revealed that their plan is to basically tombstoneify the entirety of Manhattan to turn against Kingpin.
Yeah.
Because Kingpin, his tower is a fortress and they can't storm it.
Yeah.
But because Noir has like made himself known, they have to move up their timetable. Crime Master goes to the tower to go like set off the bomb, while Tombstone is in charge with like invading the tower. So it kind of splits off here. One part of the story is Black Cat facing Crime Master along with Luke Cage, and Spider-Man trying to stop Tombstone from killing Kingpin. While in like the King Suite of Kingpin's tower, Tombstone starts battling Hammerhead, and before Spider-Man could like step in, Hobgoblin takes out a gun and shoots Kingpin. It's revealed that Crime Master got to him a while ago, and they've been trying to get into Kingpin's safe.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to just kill him, they want to kill him and take all of his shit.
Yeah.
But Kingpin is the only one who knows the combination to his safe. So Hobgoblin like forces him to open the safe, kills him. And Noir stops Hobgoblin and Tombstone while Black Cat and Luke Cage stop Crime Master. And that's the end of the movie.
Nice.
Austin?
Yeah, I really liked it. It was a good approach to the mob movie. Like, I think using like Spider-Man in particular, with him being so popular right now, it's a very unique and different take on Spider-Man as well as a mob movie. So I really like that. My only real concern is that it's borderline not a mobster movie and more of a detective movie. Just like, at least with the first half. Because it's a lot more like Noir trying to figure out what happened. So, that being said, that was only like my real complaint. So maybe that just needed fleshed out so the mystery doesn't drag it out so long to make it more of a detective film.
Well, personally, I don't know how to write a mob movie. I don't have any like frame of reference.
That being said, your mob stuff was really good, and I think you chose really good villains. And like Crime Master?
Yeah, Crime Master.
Yeah, honestly, deep cut villain. I agree, the name's kind of stupid and very on the nose.
Yeah.
But the design looks cool and very like aesthetically correct for a mobster movie, and I think that was a good choice to bring him into the light. The only real questionable choice I had was like Hobgoblin. I don't necessarily see him being a good choice for a mobster movie.
I will say, when I was doing my research and I asked, like, give me the top 10, like, mobsters, Hobgoblin popped up. So he's considered a crime boss. But I didn't want to bank, like, crime boss. I wanted one crime boss with, like, a bunch of lackeys.
Okay. Yeah. Hobgoblin just maybe probably shouldn't have been the choice, but that's only a really big nitpick. I would have maybe chose a different one. Maybe one that's like a hired killer, like a contract killer. That could be.
See, I also wanted to get the Prowler in there, but like,
Prowler would have been a good choice too.
I already had Black Cat. So I don't know.
But yeah, I was kind of thinking that after they killed Kingpin, though, that would have been like a cutoff point to set up another movie. Then you have a whole crime trilogy. But
I will say I forgot to get into it, so that's my fault. Black Cat. Remember how I said that she was contracted to like find something from Crime Master? That what sets up the next movie. Like, the next movie would be Noir chasing Black Cat for what she stole and to figure out who hired her. So. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, overall, I don't have a whole lot. I thought it was fun and unique.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't expect this, but I didn't expect it at all. I think your character choices, I mean, I don't know a ton about these characters, but they were very well done. The story flowed pretty well. I don't have a problem with it starting kind of more as a noir detective film, just because it's Spider Noir, but I think it shifted into the more mobster feel. Yes, it was like halfway through the movie, but I think it did it like enough that I don't personally have a problem with it. Because we start telling the story through Spider Noir's perspective. We're just not following the mobsters. They're just not our protagonists, but I still consider it a mobster film. Anyway, yeah, my Luke Cage. Goodness.
Luke Cage.
Goodness. Luke Cage feels like he was just kind of like he was there and then he was kind of tacked on at the end.
He was.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I wanted a reason why more reason why Noir was getting into it.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be. I wanted the dead body to be like a big crime boss.
Yeah.
And that sparked the whole idea of using Diamondback because he was also on that list of like mobsters, all the like list of mobsters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So I was like, Luke Cage. And then when I didn't have a use for him, I was like, he should come back at the end to be part of the battle between Crime Master. I couldn't think of another way to like bring him in sooner because like I said, the heat is still on him because he's the number one suspect for Diamondback's killer. So
that's my only real thing. I think it was very well done. I wanted a more concluded ending because like they beat him. I don't know if that was a time thing. I don't know if weren't time thing. I assumed. But I wish I could have had something that fleshed that out a bit more. So because I kind of feel like I'm like, what next? That's the only problem I had with your pitch, which I think is how you presented the pitch, which is I consider a compliment personally. But yeah, it was very fleshed out. Outside of the Luke Cage thing.
I will say all I had going into this was Spider-Man Noir. That was it.
Yeah. And I think you did very well. I think this was like one of the ones that you just wrote and it flowed really well. And it showed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just repeating myself at this point.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, with that note, Jack.
We're stalling. Okay. All right. I'm going to preface this first by there was a lot of details I added that I wanted to tie into the story. Did not have time. I barely got a final scene in there. And then I also had to do the thing that we have to do with Mobster movies. There's a lot of characters like in there. I only named a few. There's going to be like henchmen, goons, family members that not mentioned. Yeah, like you did. You kind of have to do that with what we're doing. Okay, with that, let me do the very long summary. I'm a little nervous about y'all's reaction to this. All right. In the year.
Wait 1 sec. I swear to God, if he does Pokemon, I'm gonna kill him.
No. It might be worse.
Oh God.
In the year 2221, the Earth is in ruins.
Did you go to the future?
I did go to the future, almost 200 years in the future. All who can afford to have gone to the stars, leaving only the poor and unwanted and those who rule them. With all forms of government officially gone, mobs rule what is left of the U.S. 7 families control the newly named country of New America. This is basically the size of one state. The 2 most powerful families, the Dory family and the Verta family, are at a stalemate for total control. Everything seems to fall apart when the Verta family's head falls deathly ill and must hand over the reins to his ill-prepared son, Sal. When the Dory family destroys all the factories that produce a highly addictive drug called Pound overnight, the Verta's main source of income disappears. On the run, Sal must make allies to take down the Dory family forever.
Nice.
Krais?
How heavy is Pound?
Well, you can buy it by the gram, by the...
By the pound?
Yeah.
Would you say by the pound?
Yeah.
Would you buy it for the pound?
That's a lot of drugs, guys. So, yeah, I thought about, like, I wasn't really super enthusiastic about this approach. I was like, I gotta do a Jack thing and make it unique. And I was like, what about mobs, but in the future? What would that look like? And that's how I kind of approached it. And I said it far enough ahead that the Earth is basically destroyed for multiple reasons, climate change, war, etc. And it leaves it, there's no government, which takes away the, crooked cop part of it. I wanted to challenge myself with this. So there's a few things that I didn't put in the story that I just put as notes that you need to know going in, and then we'll get straight into the plot. So Pound is the drug. It's insanely addictive. It numbs the brain and lets you feel the rhythm of your heartbeat in your head, getting the name Pound. And the users are called Pound Heads. There's a scene in there I wanted... Yeah. What?
Why not Pounders?
You really got influenced by Penguin, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Let it be known to the audience that Krais doesn't understand that reference because he hasn't watched The Penguin.
Yeah. Alright, all the weapons are electronic, so even the knives are electrified. That's an important thing because there's also a thing called a nullifier. Basically, it's a device, you turn it on, and basically all weapons are useless, and the knives are basically just normal knives. That's important, and that'll come up. Okay, we open, and it's basically going to be a scenic shots of New America's poverty and the crime, and then in contrast to the mob families in the skyscrapers. And we have a narrator giving exposition. I don't know who it would be, but one of the characters is a narrator. The names are ridiculous because, again, it's 200 years in the future. All right. After we get our opening bit, we have the Vertov family penthouse. Truther, one of the head's right-hand men, is going over a report of how pound sales are going. How the Caline family is starting to encroach on their territory. And during this, Sal's like in the background working on something unrelated. There's a bunch of people there. Normal mobster meeting thing. And then Truther eventually reluctantly gives a report that the Dory family seems to be making a move. Damien, the head of the Vertov family, says it's just a rumor, nothing to worry about. After that scene, we go to outside the meeting. Kelly, Sal's younger brother, who's a lot more versed and skilled in this industry, is checking up on Sal, who seems nervous. Sal confesses he wants to go to space with all the rich people, and they have the money to do that. And he wants to leave Earth, which would break Damien's heart. And he doesn't know if he should do it. Kelly warns him about what the consequences could be, but says, in trust that you'll make the right decision, brother, type of thing. Cut to Mara Dory, the head of the Dory family, meeting with Corso, a very famous mercenary hitman who has one rule, and that is that he doesn't kill the heads of mob families. Other than that, he has no rules, but he never fails. She tries to get him to kill Damien. When he refuses, saying that it's against his literal one rule and that he wouldn't even kill her no matter what he was offered, Dory, with the help of a bunch of goons, forces him to take a unique strain of pound that's, incredibly addictive, and since it's a unique strain, he can only get his fix from her. And he's locked up until he agrees, until the side effects are too much for him and he agrees to go after Damien. Then we get a scene, Sal is rehearsing to himself about talking to Damien about wanting to go to space with all... And it's like spaceships are like a city up there, but there's also planets far away that they've discovered, etc. So Sal's like rehearsing, like talking to Damien, like, okay, Father, I'm grateful for everything you've done, etc. Damien finally is able to invite Sal in, and before Sal can say anything, Damien breaks the news that he's dying. He has a deathly illness, and he wants Sal to take over. Sal agrees before he can mention why he wanted to come. And Damien says he's going to retire to one of the few nice places in nature left on planet Earth. We have a big going away party for Damien. All are celebrating. It's big. It's like the wedding from Godfather, but tenfold. And during this, it's announced that Sal will take over, and Kelly makes a big moment of vowing his eternal allegiance to Sal. Like, I pledge you're my new Godfather. You're the new Dawn type thing. At the end of the party, Corso, the hitman, shows up and kills Damien and Kelly. Kelly was trying to save Damien's life. Bali, who is the Vertos family most reliable muscle, in this quick 5-second shootout, shoots Corso and then interrogates Corso. And was like, who told you to do this? You're breaking your rule. And he's like, the Dories hired him. So we get that. Next, we go to a scene with two of the other families. The Caline, which I mentioned earlier, that are encroaching on the Vertov family, and the Talk. I don't know how long this movie will be, but it is long, because we're not even halfway through. I should have said y'all are in for a ride. Anyway, so the Talk family head and the Caline family head meet, and they start talking about the Vertos family weakness and their moment of vulnerability, and they're trying to decide whether they should attack the Verta territory and try and take it for themselves, or join the Dory. As they're trying to figure this out, Mara appears, and after a discussion, making an offer that they can't refuse, Talk ends up joining her, and Caline refuses and ends up getting killed because of it. Next, in the aftermath of the party, Sal meets with Bali and other members of the family on what to do. Talk, seemingly showing up, seemingly as a friend, saying he's coming. Hey, you're in a moment of weakness. I'm here to support you if you give me a cut of what's going on. But during this meeting, the Veritas pound factories are all destroyed. I'm talking like 10 different factories that are millions, probably billions of dollars. They're all completely destroyed instead of taken over. And Talk has his men storm the building, killing all but Sal and Bali, who saves Sal's. Like, he immediately sees guns, he grabs her and takes him out through a secret exit. Sal and Bali are driving through the streets on the run, seeing the pound heads rush into the factories to try and get what's left, and riots, etc. It's bad. Next, we have Mara gathering the remaining heads of the families and she decides to take full control, and she divides up territories and stuff, with her being at the head. Alright, then we have a scene with Bali and Sal in a safe house talking. They decide to meet with Jane Caline, the new head of the Caline family, and consider she might, since Mara killed her father, she might be able to help them out. Cut to immediate. There's a bunch of time jumps, kind of like in The Godfather. I didn't say the exact time. Didn't worry about it. We're at a meeting with Jane, and she agrees to help Sal in exchange for the pound recipe, which only real Verta family members know. This would have been established earlier. As they plan revenge on Mara for killing and then they plan revenge because both of their fathers were killed by Mara as well. They bond over that. Yay, family trouble, drama, daddy issues. We get a scene of Bali going through the streets, rallying a bunch of Verta supporters and loyalists that are currently in hiding, and people who have always lived off the generosity of the Verta, or people who are just in need of help, people in need of work. So he's going through the streets gathering all these people. And he brings them to a big place where Sal is supposed to give a speech. He's nervous, very, very nervous. He is not a speaker. He's on the verge of a panic attack, and Jane helps him calm down. They share a sweet moment, and she's like, hey, I can talk all they want, but they need to hear this from you right now. I know I'm a better talker, but they need to hear this from you. And this gives Sal what he needs to give this big speech, and yeah. Mara hears about Sal and Jane and their plan, and basically offers a reward for their heads. This leaves the Caline Verta families in chaos. Loyalties are tested when the bounty is heard, and this is like they're offering like millions of dollars. And Bali seems to want the reward. Massive shootout where those who are disloyal and those who are loyal basically divide up. And a big shootout. The people who are loyal live, and it solidifies like you literally risk your life for us. You're part of the family. Then we get a scene with Sal and Jane alone, and Jane suggests that they get married to unify power, political marriage. Sal is against it at first because he wants to marry for love. Jane calls him naive, and then through this, it's a kind of a longer scene, but then they kind of confess like, oh, you do love me, essentially. Because they've been working together nonstop for months at this point, and they're like, I kind of wanted a line where it's like, I'm going to marry for love, you're so naive. And then just a dramatic turn, and who says it's not for love type of vibe. Next, we get a sequence of Mara yelling at people to like, you need to hunt these guys down, why can't you kill them already? It's because they're jumping around, they don't have any actual territory. They're kind of guerrilla tactics at this point. Penultimate scene, guys, we're almost there. We're at Sal and Jane's wedding, and Dory goons come in, but it's a trap.
It's a trap!
The new Culta family had made this. So it's officially a unified, it's now the Culta family. And then finally, Mara, at the end of her rope, decides to meet with Bali, who is revealed to have escaped the shootout wounded. And he wants immunity in exchange for info. They meet in the old Vertop penthouse, where we started. Mara sitting in Damien's old chair. Bali starts, they have whenever heads of family meets, they have that nullifier I mentioned. So like when Mara got the heads of the families, they had that go on. And Bali only agreed to do this if a nullifier was on. So he starts talking, but before they can get much anywhere, Bali pulls out a gun, they laugh, you can't use a gun here, and shoots all the guards. It's an old gun. It's a non-electric gun, which was
Ooh,
yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah, I say old gun. It's basically what would be one now, but it's not electric, which is very, very hard to find. And he kills them. I was thinking it'd be like a Verital like family heirloom that was entrusted to him, which of course would be set up. But again, anyway, after Bali kills the guards, Sal and Jane casually enter. Jane, after Mara basically begging and pleading, like trying to like, please let me live. I'll give you this. I'll give you this. Jane just casually goes over, pulls her out of the chair, throws her on the desk, and strangles her to death, saying, "This is for my father," and nothing else. After that, Sal walks over, sits in his father's chair, Jane on the arm, and they look straight at the camera and smile. Blackout in the movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
I was all ready to talk.
Yeah, I was a little worried at the beginning because it just seemed like a lot of just like straight up drama. But I'm figuring it slowly made it clear why that was being set up because everything after Act 1 essentially became much more action based and with a lot more heavy moments. Yeah. So that worked out. Probably the biggest criticism I have is because you set it up in space. I think, well, not in space, but like in the future. That's my bad. Yeah. Just in the future. I think that you probably needed some more world building moments right out because, like, when you do in the future, you have to establish the new. Oh, what is it? The new normal, I guess.
Yeah, the new status quo.
Status quo. That's what it was. Thank you. Yeah, you have to set up the new status quo. I do feel like some of that was missing, which I usually. It's
nothing but. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one thing. I really like how you had a red wedding, essentially.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was like, no way. Yeah. And so, yeah, I honestly thought that's how it was going to end after one person escaped, and then that was going to be the plot of the second film.
Yeah.
Why am I really... I'm really thinking, like, y'all have plans for a second one, and it's just...
This one will not have a sequel.
Yeah. But no, that was clear with the ending that you did have. But, like... Yeah, I thought that they were going to be like set up for he's going to get revenge for survival. But no, I thought that was very well done. The love interest kind of came out of nowhere at first. Yeah. And I was like, oh, when was this talked about? Yeah. But yeah, I think that probably just needed a little bit more work. Yeah. But overall, really good pitch. And I was very shocked when you originally said that it was in the year 2221. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that wasn't an approach I was expecting. So, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
So let me address a few of those because it might answer some of your concerns, Krais. So 2221 because I wanted something to happen on New Year's Day, so when it became 2222, and probably at 10 p.m. or 2020 at 20 minutes. I wanted something with that, didn't get to it. The love thing, wanted to flesh that out more. And as far as the world building, I had it all planned out, but I didn't put it in the pitch because I've already been talking for like 20 freaking minutes straight. So I have it planned out. I just didn't put it in the pitch. So if you have a question, I'll probably be able to answer it. But yes.
I guess I do have a question with that. Yeah. Though, or what you have given me. Why 2,222?
Because I was thinking like 25 originally. But I didn't want it so far out in the future. I figured in about 200 years is where that would be where the Earth could be in. There was probably a nuclear war. Climate change became a major problem. Yeah. I wanted about 200 years in the future, and then I'm like, I mean, we already got 2-2 there. Might as well make it another 2-2. Right. And I wanted it.
You just want to say 2-2.
No, I wanted that New Year's thing, and then I completely did not have time to tie it in. Was my problem. Okay. That's why I choose.
Did you have a title for this?
Yes. It wasn't a great one, but I like it. It's called What's Left.
Ooh, I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. I think it fits, but it also doesn't, like, it could be anything.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. I do really like having the family heirloom being an old revolver.
Yeah, that's like, really good.
That one was really good. Yeah. And, like, I'd say, like, you mentioned maybe it being like what we have now. Yeah. I would actually go back to like the original periods.
That's my original thought.
They have a history of crime families. Yeah. So it's just like that one would like I just did it as a revolver from the 1930s. Yeah. That would have been really good.
Yeah. And there was a thing where Damien doesn't like the new types of weapons, but again didn't have time to put that in. That would come up in the first meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this pitch. I think it's really well written. It's like you said, it's another Jyck original.
Yeah.
I will say the fact that you said that you didn't want to write the way that it's set up. There wouldn't be like a sequel.
Yeah.
I could see there being like this becoming a new franchise or like a new IP, kind of like how A Quiet Place became. Like I could see like a sequel being made, but like another one of the other 7 crime families, like more of that. I could see a lot being done with it.
Yeah.
And I just think you can definitely expand upon it because you did a lot of here's the world, but you just didn't give us that world.
Yeah.
That it feels kind of like a waste to be like, here's this world that I made for one movie and it's dead now.
Dude, you know how many worlds I made? But also, I did like talk for like 20 straight minutes.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it is a good movie. Also, real quick, if anyone from the year 2222?
This one is 2221
finds this podcast, congratulations. We're sorry for butchering your time. We don't know about you yet.
How right is Jack? Tell us in the comments
Yes.
below. We'll have been 200. We'll have been dead for like 150 years.
Well,
Our great grandchildren will answer.
Actually, maybe you might be like, decapitated and put in like a head jar.
Cryostasis.
Yeah, something like that, like a Futurama situation. But yeah, I just think that this is a good pitch. Again, I commend you on Austin. I commend you on going into the future.
Yeah.
Made it real original.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I was thinking like I'd be okay with a prequel and maybe something like the perspective of someone in space like trying to figure out like what's going on down there. If it had to be in the future, it'd be someone going up to space or someone coming down from space or something like that.
The mob family in this space station.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I don't plan on doing anything else with this. Because this movie would honestly, in totality, probably be like 2.5, 3 hours easy.
If you were to get this, you would need like a big name director who can easily do a 3-hour movie with a good sized budget. So like, you need Denis Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan, probably some other up and comer that's getting pretty good at stuff like that. Yeah. But like those two are the ones that come to mind.
For sure.
I was thinking definitely more Denis Villeneuve. It
doesn't seem like a Christopher Nolan.
Because like Blade Runner and Dune, it's like I feel like that
for
fits
sure
Denis Villeneuve pretty well.
Ooh, Crime Family and Dune.
Yeah. Well, that one's more like political houses.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
You can put like a mobster flavor in there.
I just think it would be cool.
Yeah, the Atreides family. Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, pretty good pitches from everyone. Like, there's a pretty good variety. We got a traditional one, we got a superhero one, and we got one for the future.
Yeah.
The only one that we didn't get was a modern one, but that's okay.
Or the past one.
We're the modern one. We're getting.
We didn't get Oonga Boonga.
There's a reason the cavemen aren't around anymore, Krais. They swim with the fishies now. All right. Well, with that note, should we spin the wheel for the last time of 2024?
Wait, what are you talking about, Austin?
Well, we're going to spin this wheel, and that'll be our pitch for our next episode. But then after that, we have 2 more episodes of the year. We have a Christmas special coming up and a nice New Year special.
Yeah.
And then we will get back to our normal style in 2025.
Oh, God.
Brand new year, same old not so wise man.
Yeah. Yep. And our first episode of 2025 will be episode 20 of our main series, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Fun little trivia fact if we ever get famous or something.
A lot of fun stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But for now,
what's coming up next?
Last pitch of 2024.
Let's see.
Not last pitch, but go spin the wheel.
No, last pitch.
Last normal pitch.
Yeah, last normal pitch.
There we go.
Oh no. Oh no.
Pitch the worst video game.
Oh, I thought you said I thought it was gonna be movie for a second. I was gonna freak out.
I would have been happy if it was a movie. Video game, I'm still gonna have to do some work.
Is this my baby?
I think this is your baby, Chris.
Okay, preface this. What do you mean by worst video game? Because
just pitch the worst video game idea you can.
yeah, the
Done.
video
Like,
game.
the objective is to make a bad pitch.
Bad pitch or a bad video game? Or
Both.
Both.
The video game, like, obviously you would pitch it like you think it's good,
Yeah.
but the game itself is
There we
terrible.
go.
So
Yeah.
like, don't pitch it badly, but pitch it badly.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Selling crap,
but
pretending
you're
it's good.
yeah, you think it's good, but you're not acknowledging every single bad thing you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I have no ideas, but that's gonna be fun.
I have all the ideas.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, thank you all so much for listening to this episode.
Yeah.
This one we had a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
Like we were pretty nervous. Well, Jack and Krais were pretty nervous about this one.
Terrified.
Oh, I was still shaking in my boots.
I was super excited for this one, and
Yeah.
and I think we all came out with really good pitches.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for listening. Now, Krais, I gave you an offer, and you refused. So now I'm gonna introduce you to some friends of mine. Jack,
Wait, where's the dark?
introduce Krais to the fishies.
Don't worry, I'll make it quick.
No, not the fishies. I'm vegan.
That's so good. The Three Not So Wise Men. Grace Baker. Jack Green. Oscar Michaelis. Special thanks to Louis Trotter for the amazing intro. See you next time.